This is definitely the definition of talking football 24/7, 365. We are going to do it. Push forward to game number 1 of 2021. Notre Dame, right? Notre Dame? Wow. So we're a mere 9 months away. Mere 9 months away from Florida State football once again. This is uncharted territory to a certain extent for the Seminoles. I know that they missed a bowl game a couple of years ago, but still to be this early in December, not even Christmas time, no bowl game, postseason appearance, nothing like that. But hopefully with the fine work, and Jason will outline this a little bit later, the fine work that Mike Norvell's doing, this is obviously just a 1-year deal.
Mm-hmm. Yes, just a 1 year. This 1 year deal. There's a lot of excuses to be made. There was COVID-19. The Patriots aren't even in the playoffs, so weird year.
Jason Parker on top there from NBC6, and of course Logan Robinson from Knoll Game Day for our 85th edition. And
then we just lost Jason.
I was just about to say, and I gotta hold this for later, because I was just about to say, no longer Mr. Perfect, and now he's really not Mr. Perfect anymore. He's going to duck 2 weeks.
Almost. He can't go 2 weeks like this. This is very unlikely. He was sending me texts. I didn't know where Jason was until he texted me a few hours later, and he said this sucks. And he was actually sitting outside in Doak Campbell Stadium watching all the state championships and covering them. So I didn't know where he was, but we found out he was sitting out there in the cold. But we thought we'd have him back, but
okay,
something must have
He's
failed.
Setting me up to introduce him again. Let's try this again.
When you hit the wrong button, I mean, damn.
What is happening?
Good God, man! I got to start a streak all over again. Good Lord.
Jason, you couldn't have given me the pleasure of pointing out that your streak's over. Couldn't have done that.
I mean, I know you like to point out on my side, so go ahead. Here, go ahead.
Your unofficial streak is over because it was actually over months ago.
Well, see what happened was the people who actually pay me to do work needed me more than you, so I had to go with them. So,
No.
Sorry. People actually give me a paycheck every 2 weeks. They actually, they needed me. So.
We're waiting on. We got to get the sponsorships. The sponsorship. I think we lost. I think we gave them away when we were naming all the restaurants. I think we didn't sign a deal yet for the sponsors.
You're the only person here who actually lives in Tallahassee. So why don't you get up off your ass and go do some work for us, Logan?
I can't. I would, but COVID-19.
Got it.
Couldn't go out there. Couldn't go out there and mess around like that.
You can go out and drink, but you can't go out and do some work. Got it.
Nope.
Logan. Got it.
Cannot do that. No, I cannot.
Got it. So I can schlep to Tallahassee to do work, but you can't actually.
No, that should have been restricted. Did you wear your mask the whole time in the stadium?
I did as I was shooting high school football as South Florida reminded everyone why our high school teams are the best in this entire state. Beat up on Rickards, beat up on those schools from Jacksonville and Orlando, but that's just what we do in South Florida.
Jason came out firing shots right out of the gate.
Well, that's what we're doing, man. That's what we're doing now.
He missed
the holiday season.
Missed the week. No happiness of holidays coming up.
My holiday's over. You guys have got your holiday coming up on Friday. So Merry Christmas to the Christians here.
Thank you.
For those of us in the Judaism, happy late Hanukkah for those of us.
Absolutely.
Happy Kwanzaa for anyone who's celebrating Kwanzaa. Shout out.
This is just one of Jason's many skills. He keeps us updated on holidays and also other commemorative events and anniversaries. You do a nice job of that.
It's called a calendar. So we have these things here. They're called calendars. They have the holidays on them. I'll get you one. That'll be my late gift for you. Will be a calendar.
See, that's must be something that lost me when I left ESPN, because I used to have a nice little desk calendar.
Mm-hmm.
But now, hey, it's just freewheeling style here with Mark Rogers TV.
Wheeling and dealing.
Did you enjoy being in the stadium in Doak for a game that FSU wasn't playing?
There were more. I did enjoy actually seeing more people there than there was for the Pitt game. Probably for the Duke game you were at. So it was definitely interesting to see a decent crowd. It was also interesting to actually see winning teams actually winning games, actually being there rooting for teams that were actually winning games. Haven't seen that since the North Carolina game. So,
did you not see? Did you see Mike watching down from his office scouting? Did you see him breaking any kind of protocol, like what's going on with Dan Mullen at UF?
No, I did not see him. His office seemed to be dark. I did see your old track coach,
Coach Gowan,
who was there. Who when I saw I knew you, he was kind of like, oh. So I don't know what happened with the child high school track team. I don't know what shenanigans you pulled there, but congratulations.
A ton.
Whatever you did. I didn't know you were a track athlete though. What events were you?
That was 400-meter hurdles, 300-meter hurdles, and then 110 hurdles.
Wait.
And 4x4.
Wait. You actually ran 400 meters.
300-meter hurdles, but yeah, I'd do 4x4 anchor. I did. I like doing 5K. I didn't do long distance, but 300-meter hurdles was good enough for length.
We did the Fat Man Relay, which is where the shot putters and the discus last event at each meet run an event. So as a former Fat Man, that was what we used to do.
Yeah, that's always the best. Definitely when you're like,
no, it was not. It was not. Not even close.
400s are terrible.
Yes. As you can tell, folks who are still watching right now, this is the desperation mode of trying to find content when you are a graduate of a 3 and 6 school. But we are the best 3 and 6 school. There we go. I'm gonna go with what Logan and what the idiot fans want and say that everything's great. Everything is great. We are the best 3 and 6 team in college football. No one can top us. 3-6 Mafia right here. The 3 and 6 Mafia.
I'm going to review the standings just to make sure we're accurate on the best 3 and 6 team in the nation.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's take a look.
Don't know if I wanted to look at it.
Not sure if I want
Let's see what teams we compete against. Go ahead, Mark.
There might be a Tennessee or Wake Forest out there that might be right in there.
Mark loves to take every moment to correct me. So go ahead, Mark. Let us know what team is better.
This would not be a correction. It's not a factual thing. It would just be, maybe setting up a little bit of a debate, a discussion.
Absolutely.
If there's any other teams that could be out there that are 3 and 6 that could be like Florida State or maybe a little bit better.
There could be.
So we do actually have some personnel moves here. Maybe not necessarily anything too exciting like with Mackenzie Milton, where we had to contain Jason for days and days about his excitement over Mackenzie Milton coming to Tallahassee.
I think that's where we lost you, Jason, the next week because of how hungover you probably were for celebrating all week like it was almost Happy New Year.
So far, just for the record, the other 3 and 6 teams, let's see, we've got ECU, Rutgers, Middle Tennessee State. Let's see, what other 3 and 6 teams do we have? I think that actually might be it. Let's see, where the pack. Yeah, I think that's it right there. So Rutgers, ECU, and Middle Tennessee State. That's our competition in the 3-6 Mafia.
I think you're the best of the bunch. I would agree. I would agree. Although Rutgers, they won a couple decent ball games this year. They had a pulse.
Which is nice. They usually sometimes always have some good competition through the year. But
so Logan, we've got somebody moving on to the NFL.
Yep. Which is pretty interesting. There was some thought that he would actually intend on transferring this offseason, but it seems like he's heard some things and they've suggested he go ahead and take a look at going pro. Janarius Robinson, which is a name has been around in Tallahassee, which feels like 5 years, practically that much, was a Panama City, Florida product, came here to Tallahassee, dream school, played kind of just kind of inconsistent career at FSU, but has always had the physical attributes, the build, the frame to be an NFL player. He already had the size of that when he was in high school. A good kid, comes from a good family, and is going to be leaving Florida State. And you open up another spot. I mean, there's still more to talk about, but you open up another spot on the roster for potential more transfers or another scholarship. So he's off to the NFL.
And his was more of a personal off-field issue. Obviously, the stories that came out after 2018 when Hurricane Michael absolutely destroyed Panama City and destroyed the Panhandle. There was the big stories about how his home was destroyed. He did a lot of work raising money for people in that area. So that's more of a business move. He obviously needs the money to help get his family going. So, we wish the best for him and whatnot. And then obviously the other move, Marvin Wilson is going pro. Nasruddin is going pro. I wish them the best. I don't think Marvin Wilson lived up to the hype this season. Good guy. I don't think, and I think Logan will agree with me on this one. I don't think anywhere close to where he was thought he'd be a first round pick. Many people speculate he could be a first round pick. I don't think he gets drafted first round this time. I don't even think he gets drafted the first 2 days, but wish him the best and hopefully from there. Nasruddin, Logan, you want to help me out on this one because I don't know why. I don't get it. Once again, wish him the best of luck. I hope he goes. He's a FSU grad, so we wish him the best. But do you want to explain that one?
Yeah, no, that one's an interesting one. We weren't even really expecting him to come back and play this season after undergoing a season-ending injury against Florida at the end of the year last year. He comes back and just kind of out of nowhere wants to play a few games to end the season. He does play well. He has a takeaway and is able to get an interception just in this recent last game. And so he puts a little few things on tape. But I do think he is going to excel in the NFL. He's a guy that is all over the place, man. He's a tackling machine. If he would have played this season, I think he would have been a first-round pick. But we didn't get to see him until the end of the season. Not much. He will be drafted. But I do think an NFL team is really going to like having him on there. It just was a weird situation. I kind of wish he would have came back. But then again, he was still contemplating even coming back this season. He was even going to try to maybe even go to or couldn't go on the combine because he's still injured. But this offseason, he was still going to enter his name into the draft. So he is an NFL talent, just such a weird situation for him this year. The Marvin Wilson thing, I don't understand how he was on the second team All-ACC. That completely shocked me. I don't know if I didn't really look around, but the ACC's defensive line unit, Jason, was it just terrible this season or something? Because I don't really know how that stat lines and playing really allowed him to get on that list. It shocks me.
I don't think Marvin Wilson deserved to be second team. I don't even think he deserved to be third team or even honorable mention. I think on field, he was disappointing this season. He was just one of the many disappointments that was Florida State football in 2020. It was almost, I'll ask you, Logan, in all seriousness, was Marvin Wilson, are you more disappointed in Marvin Wilson's play or the fact that the Steelers lost to the Bengals? Which one was disappointing for you?
I'd say more into the Steelers' loss, honestly. That was pitiful.
Shout out to Baltimore Ravens football. Go Ravens.
Yeah. It doesn't get as worse, though, as after the season that was so hyped up to be about Marvin Wilson, first-round pick, top 10 pick almost, people were putting in draft boards, to have 11 tackles and 1 sack on the last season of your career at Florida State.
And I mean, I feel like he had to go. I feel like he had to go pro because, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, because if you try to transfer anywhere, I mean – I do give him credit that he does stay around the program, unlike Tamarion Terry did, where I think I'll go and say it right now. I don't even want now. That Tamarion Terry is going to be another topic once we get into the offseason of topics to talk about. But Marvin Wilson at least stayed around the program, was out there, at least watching him when I was at the game, seeing him interact, help the defensive tackles, go talk to the offensive line, and be there to support and bring energy. But that's about it, you know.
Thank you, Alabama football fan. Roll Tide. Hit that like button. We'll talk in about 15 minutes. I see our North Carolina fans are here. They're happy. They're happy they'll be coming back down here for the Orange Bowl. We waxed Miami. So now, by the process, since we beat North Carolina, and North Carolina waxed Miami. Mark, does that mean we're better than Miami at this point?
Oh, I think so. Absolutely.
We obviously weren't on September 26th when they shellacked us.
Just that one day. Sure.
It was just one day where they absolutely beat the hell out of us.
Yeah, the transitive property certainly rules over the head-to-head.
The 3 months later, we are better than Miami.
No doubt.
Okay,
So you got, I'm looking at these NFL prospects here. Logan ran down the stat line on Marvin Wilson, and defensive tackle is not a stat position, but still.
Wait. Marvin Wilson had a stat line?
I had to go down the list a ways. It took me maybe 15 minutes to get down that far on their defensive stat list. But
I missed something this season?
yeah, really basically 2 disruptive plays on the season, 2 tackles for loss, a sack, which counts in the tackle for loss. And you guys mentioned Janarius Robinson, 25 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. And Hamza Nasruddin, he was pretty productive the year before, right? As you guys mentioned, he just got onto the field for a couple games.
Yeah.
His was like Logan said. Once he got injured in the Florida game, that's where that one. And then he's the disappointment. The fact is that you would have liked to have seen what he could do, and there was some hope. There were a couple games where he was listed on the depth chart. Was he going to? And then he just didn't end up playing. But while we're in the secondary, let's actually give a shout out to Ahsante Samuel, first team All ACC. Yeah, and I will 100% admit I was wrong. When we came to the season, I expressed a little bit of doubt. There was a lot of preseason hype about him. I expressed doubt. He did come out and he played his butt off. I think he upped his draft stock plenty for upcoming this April's draft. So shout out to him. First team All ACC on defense.
Yeah.
It's also really sad that we have 2 FSU players.
Carlos Williams, whenever he's talking about it on our podcast, he gets fired up, and I do too, because Timmy Jernigan is my favorite player to go through Florida State, him and Leon Washington. But the whole discussion of relating, it's over, right? It's relating Marvin Wilson and Timmy Jernigan together. Let me run you through it. Can I run you through this? And senior year of Marvin Wilson.
It's more the fact that you have Leon Washington. And I love Leon. I had plenty of classes with him. He was during my time at Florida State, so shout out to Leon Washington. But the fact that of all the players in Florida State history, your 2 favorite players are Timmy Jernigan, national championship winning defensive lineman.
Yep. And
Leon Washington.
Love them. That's why I love number 3, and I wore number 8 because of Timmy Jernigan in high school. Also Buster Davis.
God bless. Buster Davis 7, but okay.
No, he wears number 7, yeah, but Buster Davis. Marvin Wilson, senior year, 1 sack. Timmy Jernigan, senior year, 11 sacks. Stat lines of tackles, 35 for Timmy Jernigan his senior year, 11 for Marvin Wilson. I could keep going through this from every year by year, but they're all the same, and Timmy Jernigan annihilates Marvin Wilson. I hope there's never any kind of discussion of Timmy Jernigan being related to Marvin Wilson whatsoever. It's quite obvious now that the Marvin Wilson name was just kind of like a little hype thing for FSU fans to kind of just have their hopes and dreams be ripped away from them this season. And
Logan,
through it all.
You may still be drunk from what happened on Monday night when your Steelers lost to the 2-win Bengals, but neither Mark or I mentioned that Marvin Wilson was anywhere near.
But there's plenty of FSU fans that have.
But I'm not one of them. I'm not the FSU alum over here. Is not sitting here putting those 2 guys together. Mark Rogers, the voice of college football, he's not putting him in there. You may still.
But you just got to know, too, that there's also 50 people watching, and there will be about 2,000 more later on. So it's not just you and Mark.
Well, first of all, we're the only ones that matter. That's number 1. Number 2, none of them are going to say that. No one is going to compare Marvin Wilson to Timmy Jernigan.
Well, I'm just saying throughout the beginning of his career and throughout heading into this offseason and heading into the season, people were relating these 2 names together, which I never believed in. I thought it was silliness. They were.
No one's comparing them. No one's dancing on the logo in the middle of the field. No one's doing it. Okay?
The Browns are better than the Ravens. Okay, got it.
Record-wise, yes, the Browns do have one more win than the Ravens. Correct.
And if I wasn't the professional that I am that constantly sticks to our Florida State football talk, I would probably bring up that Monday night game because Jason is typically bringing other sports into the discussion, including the women's soccer team at Florida State.
I believe it's still a football game, right?
Pardon me?
I believe it was still a Monday night football.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I'm just saying that I typically stick to the title of the show, the Florida State. Hey, and you guys are the Florida State guys.
Listen,
I'm sticking to Florida State football. I'm the one that's trying to get as much great content out there on Florida State football as possible.
We went 3-6 this season. What great content. We went 3-6.
You can have great analysis of a bad football team.
We beat Duke, Jacksonville State, and somehow pulled a win out of against North Carolina. That's our season. Congratulations, folks. That's what we did this year. We beat Duke. Mazel tov. We kept a win streak alive against Duke. We kept a win streak alive against FCS teams, and somehow played the best half of the season against North Carolina, and then the worst half of the season in the second half. There's Florida State football.
There it is, but we got to make it sound better than that.
Okay,
more interesting.
We had the best 3-6 team in the history of pandemic college football. Was the Florida State?
I like that.
That's right.
I like that.
We came up with our list. We had a unanimous vote. It's Florida State number 1.
Rutgers number 2. Middle Tennessee number 3, only because Rick Stockstill is a former Florida State quarterback. And then ECU number 4.
I'm with
I
you.
mean,
I watched a lot of them this year.
Logan's a little country, so he'd probably put ECU ahead of Rutgers because Rutgers is one of the.
I put Rutgers up there.
He'd probably put them ahead of Rutgers.
Okay, so we've got our NFL take done on the players moving on, but now we've got transfers coming in and transfers leaving the program.
We're gonna let Logan handle this one. Go ahead, Logan. Talk about that defensive back from Arkansas. Go ahead. This one's all you.
Really can move his feet.
Let me look up his numbers.
He can catch a football. He can run south and north.
Hey,
He's
Logan,
playing defensive back.
Logan, what's his name?
McClendon. McClendon.
Okay, got it. So
Jarquez McClendon.
Next week, Logan.
McClendon.
Next week, Logan will get his name correct, and then we will talk more about it.
I'm joking. Jarquez McClendon.
Jarquez McClendon. So we are now taking defensive back transfers from.
It kind of feels like a Jarian Jones situation, kind of all over again, and really might not do too much. It's nice for depth here and there, but I don't think he's going to affect next season's roster.
How did Jarian turn out for us this year?
Not too phenomenal, not too great. Wasn't a top dog in the DB market for FSU. If I were to put the rankings of what I was impressed in the DB unit this year, I'd go Ahsante Samuel Jr., maybe Brownlee, Miko Dotson when we got to see him when he was healthy.
I'd probably put Kyle Myers ahead of Jarian Jones, and Kyle Myers played for Tulane this year. So.
This dude is not on the stat sheet anywhere. No tackles, nothing.
From that powerhouse 3-7 Arkansas team.
Yeah.
I don't know. Had they only went 3-6, I might have ranked them ahead of FSU.
Well, because it's the SEC where it just means more.
Yeah, that's right.
Shout out to the SEC with only one playoff team, the ACC.
That does suck for the SEC.
Terrible. 2 teams. Thank you.
What.
Thank you. Let's get this going. And I'm going to give a shout out to whichever one of our viewers, or if Logan does it, whatever. What I want is I need a picture of Mike Norvell with the cornrows from his time at Central Arkansas, at Powerhouse, Central Arkansas. I need the picture of him with the cornrows with 3-6 Mafia in garnet gold in front of it. Anyone who can do that, our Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football viewers, Logan, if you want to get in on this, anyone who can do that, we need that. And I want to get shirts made. I will clearly rock a 3-6 Mafia shirt.
Jason, is that a gem made up by you, the 3-6 Mafia?
No, I think it's more the fact that we just have to embrace the fact that we are the worst. We had the worst record since the mid 1970s. since my father was associated to this team in the mid-1970s when we were god-awful. And what happened? We went through like 4 coaches in a 3-year period. Oh, wait. That's what we did now. We're no better than we were in the 70s right now. Oh, wait, we have a better stadium. Doak is better. It's prettier now. Got it.
Champions
If
Club.
I'm missing something, it seemed like you were taking these losses kind of in stride. You weren't happy with it, but you were taking, and now it's
Now it's hit.
it's
hit.
hitting you.
It's hit now.
The annoyance.
I believe no, it's more the fact that it's not a shock. Like I've said this before, that I don't think that Mike Norvell can cut it as our coach. I was attacked by Logan, attacked by you. James actually came to my defense, and James is not here this week.
No. I never attacked you for that. I said I didn't know. I said, let's wait and see. That's all I ever said.
You're right. And let's give him 21 games. So he's got 9 games. He's 3-6, 3-6 Mafia. So he's got 12 games. So if God willing, we have a full 12-game schedule.
Yep.
Next season. Let's see what he does. So according to the stats, he has to be better. So so Willie was 9-12. So as long as we're better than 6-6, Mike Norvell should keep his job. If he's worse than 6-6, or if he is 6-6 exactly, they will have the same record after 21 games.
What is tremendous about what you just outlined there, Jason, is that the fact that Florida State did play 9 games this season so that we could have the exact comparison.
In all kidding aside, let's take a moment and be serious for 1 second here. The fact that Florida State, with everything that's gone on with the pandemic and everything, the fact that we were scheduled to play 11 games and we got through and played 9 is an achievement with everything going on. So yes, I will agree with you, Mark. Let's give credit that we were able to play 9 games.
No, I am pointing out the irony that since you played the 9, right, you get the 12 next season if it's a full season, and you'll have the 21 game comparison perfectly at the end of next year.
Right. And with games on the schedule next season against Notre Dame and Clemson, both teams in the playoffs, games at Florida, a team that beat us 40-17 the last time we played them, a Miami team that comes to Tallahassee who beat us 52-10 the last time we played them, a Louisville team coming to Tallahassee that beat us 48-16 the last time we played them. Yep, sky's the limit. We are just going to dominate next season, right?
Hey, I'm hyped. I'm already ready.
You should be. You're also intoxicated still from Monday night.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Leonard Warner's transferring.
Leonard Warner is transferring. I mean, the roof is the ceiling for Florida State football.
I'm excited. I'm in a good mood. I also get to see your favorite coach tonight against the Memphis Tigers. Willie Taggart's going at it tonight. FAU Owls.
Absolutely.
Everybody's been keeping in on that team this season.
Absolutely. They had a 5-3 record, which is better than 3-6. And they're actually in a bowl game while we're sitting there at home. But continue to tell me that Mike Norvell is better than Willie Taggart. Got it. Continue to tell me. The roof is the ceiling for the 3-6 Mafia.
Have you understood of why all these players are getting practically moving on or kicked out, and most of them whenever Mike Norvell arrived this early last time last year, why there was a lot of players being kind of get out, please?
You are right, Logan. I'm going to give Logan the credit here. I'm going to take a moment and give Logan the credit. Logan is 100% correct. We are getting these great recruits from South Florida. Oh no, wait, we're getting great recruits coming in from every other state but the state of Florida. We're losing players, but don't worry, we're getting transfers coming in from Arkansas. Yep, Logan, you got it. You are right. The Mike Norvell is turning things around in Tallahassee. Man, let me tell you.
Jason, let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Let's say Mike Norvell has a poor season next year. Let's say they go 4-8. Right in line with what they did this year, 4-8. And he gets extended, not extended, but he keeps his job, moves into a 3rd year. And let's say he starts to turn it around. Then it's 7-5, then it's 9-3. And let's say we're looking at a Florida State program that looks more like what it's supposed to look like 4 years from now. and you're contending for ACC championships, maybe winning an ACC championship,
Mhm.
are you going to hold on to the first 21 games? He was only whatever it is, 7-14.
I mean, if we're going to make fun of voices, I could start going on your voice.
No.
But first of all, my argument has been, and I will stand pat, unlike you guys who have flip-flopped completely in the 80-plus episodes we've done here, if his record is 9-12 or worse, which would happen with a 6-6 or worse record next season, he should be removed from the job. Not because I think that it's fair, but because that is the standard we set by getting rid of Willie Taggart after 21 games. Willie Taggart was 9-12. And I understand once again, and I've said it before and I'll say it again because some of our viewers can sometimes be a little bit slow, so I'll say it one more time. I understand why Willie Taggart got fired after 21 games. But if that's the standard we're going to go with, every coach should be kept to that standard. That's all I'm saying.
May I ask a follow-up question?
Well, let me finish, then you can go ahead. If Mike Norvell does show progress, and for all we know, he could. Things could turn around next season. Florida State could finish 7-5, 8-4. Things could turn around. And I will be the first person to say, keep him around. There's good progress. Things are turning around. But if things are still 6-6 or worse, if we have another losing season, you cannot justify keeping him around. If you are going to fire Willie Taggart after 21 games because he was 9-12, 0-5 against Clemson, Florida, and Miami, arguably the three biggest rivals on the schedule, then that is the same standard you have to keep for every coach from this point on. And it's not just Mike Norvell. It's every coach who coaches Florida State from this point on has to be held to that standard. If you're going to fire one coach after 21 games because you don't, what was the excuse used? These aren't FSU standards, then you can't change that just because it's a coach who's a lighter shade. And I'll just leave it.
So here's my question.
Yes, sir.
My statement to begin the question would be that any coach at any football power or any football school is judged first and foremost by the wins and the losses. Obviously, your record. That's the first thing that comes up. What's your record? And that's the way it should be. But let me ask you, does the evaluation stop and end with that? Is that all there is to the evaluation? Is that's the record, especially in a situation where you're trying to rebuild something?
No, and I don't think it's fair that you've said this before that you think Willie Taggart should have gotten a third season. That you don't think it was right that he got fired after 21 games. I agree. I think that you should get a third season, and then from there it's make or break time. I would say that is what should happen with Mike Norvell. I think Mike Norvell, let's say Florida State, they're 3-6 this year. Let's say they go 6-6 next year. Finish 500 in the regular season, get back to a bowl game. Should Mike Norvell get a third season? If you're asking my opinion, yes, I think he should, because I think he should get a chance to prove it after a third season. What I'm saying is, if you're going to fire Willie Taggart after 21 games and say it's because we were 9-12 and that's not up to quote-unquote FSU standards, you have to hold that same standard for every coach. Mike Norvell, Logan Robinson, Jason Parker, whoever the next coaches are for the rest of the eternity that Florida State football stands, you have to have that same standard. Otherwise, you look like a bunch of hypocrites. Now, if we're fine with FSU looking like a bunch of hypocrites, that's fine. But unless you want to be called a hypocrite, you have to fire him if he has a worse than 9-12 record.
The caveat I will make to my statement about Willie Taggart getting a third season is that, yes, I'm making that evaluation from a couple thousand miles away, not involved in the Florida State football program, just evaluating results and play on the field, watching the games. But as Logan has outlined a number of times, there's more to it in regards to I'm not there to see culture, environment, what's going on. Is this going off the rails? What's the context of the 9-12 record?
The context of the 9-12 record is let's compare the two real quick. Willie Taggart didn't lose to Louisville in either of his two appearances. Either of his two games, he beat Louisville. Mike Norvell lost by 32 points to Louisville, correct? Yes, he did.
One of the two teams that Willie Taggart beat at Louisville went 2-10 and went 0-8 in the ACC. That's not the same team.
Answer the question, yes or no.
That's not the same team.
Answer the question, yes or no.
Not the same team.
Once again, yes or no. Did Willie Taggart lose to Louisville at all in his two seasons? Yes or no?
Let me answer another season from him. Let me answer the question in the way that you presented the question. Did Dabo Swinney beat Florida State the last 5 or 6 years? Yes. Did that same Dabo Swinney lose to Florida State before that? Yes, because he was playing a different Florida State team altogether.
Viewers at home, this is what Mark Rogers, the voice of college football, likes to do. He can't admit that Jason's right about something, so he tries to continue to maneuver.
Not every team that shows up every year is the same team as the previous season. When Louisville's going 8-5 and winning a bowl game, they're not the same team as they were when they went 0-8 in the ACC. That's not the same team, just because they got the same name on their jerseys.
Willie Taggart didn't lose to Louisville. Mike Norvell got smoked by 32 points. Willie Taggart combined lost to Miami by a combined 18 points. We lost to Miami by 42 points this year. I'm once again saying, give Mike Norvell the chances. Do I think he is cut out to be our coach? No. Do I say give him a chance? Absolutely. Do I think he should be fired after 2 seasons? No, I don't personally think he should. I think he should get at least 3 seasons to turn this around. I 100% agree with you on that. All I am saying is if you are going to fire one coach after 21 games and say it's not up to the standards, you have to hold that same standard to every single coach from Mike Norvell on. That's the fact. That's just the facts. You have to hold every coach to the same standard. If you're going to fire one, you also have to hold another standard up to it, and that's the fact that Logan has to tell you why you have to hit the like button.
That is true. I was about to say we're going a little past our due time here because we only have 21 left.
Mark kept going on, and Mark can't say, Jason, you were right, because it's not in his DNA, so we had to keep going. So sorry, we're 7.5 minutes late. Now take that time and tell us why we need to hit the like button.
We needed the like button because it's holiday season, Jason, and we're all having a good time here. We didn't have Jason last week, but now we have Jason back with us, so that should automatically get you to hit that like button. And we just hit over 100. We're like bouncing views up and up and up here. 105 watching. I think y'all need to argue more. More arguing in this show actually means more viewers, and that's how it goes in the entertainment business, anyways. So hit that like button. Only 26 likes with 100 people watching. That's tough. That's tough.
Logan,
smash that like button.
Why do you like the chaos, Logan?
The chaos is fun. I think that's what we're going to have to do this offseason is just get really good arguing back and forth, and kind of I'll sit here, but I'll cook popcorn.
Let's address this comment from Luke Walker, Mr. North Carolina fan. Baltimore Ravens fans can come on this show at any time. Fly Ravens fly. Let the Ravens fans come in here, because right now the Ravens, yes, we got a junior varsity win over the Jacksonville Jaguars this week. That's fine, but at least we won.
Logan, can you imagine if we went to an overtime session and we talked politics and social issues? We might get 1,000.
Oh no, that would break the internet, and I think that is something y'all need to invest in. I can moderate it, and then y'all just go at it. I think you could get 100,000 of views each podcast episode.
100,000.
100,000. That will pay the bills right there.
That would do it.
And we still wouldn't get a sponsor.
Probably so.
But I would get a ton of ad revenue, but I would put my hands up and say, we don't have a sponsor yet, Jason. As soon as I get one.
Yeah, no. Mike Norvell will be here no matter what, because Florida State, at the end of it all, has no money. Or they do have money, but they do not have the financial likenesses. That's why you're seeing Dugans get an extension also. Odell Higgins get an extension. Just kind of on the last little bit here, Florida State needs all the kind of revenue streams and keep a hold of their bank account as much as possible. So Mike Norvell will be here. And it's interesting. I do think there's going to be a good amount of other guys transferring and leaving too. Do you think Corey Durden was a good person to have on the team, a good teammate to have on the team, Jason?
I'm hot and cold with him. I'm hot and cold with him because I think he was, once again, I think he was a good person who underachieved as a player. The same thing like I said with Marvin Wilson. I think Marvin Wilson was a good person. I agree with everything he did off the field with his social justice initiatives and all the social justice he was promoting. But I think he underachieved as a player. And I think if that's the one downfall I will say of the Willie Taggart era and the end of the Jimbo Fisher era it was recruiting the hype instead of recruiting the talent. And I've said this before, I think that you can recruit a bunch of 2-stars and 3-stars and turn them into 4- and 5-star type talent. I don't think you can – I think it's a lot easier to do that than it is to recruit a 5-star and keep him at 5-star talent. And that's our problem. Yes, Sammy Miami, those were great Hanukkah gifts for night 4. Those were phenomenal gifts for me. By the way, I didn't get gifts from either one of you. You had 8 nights to send gifts. I got nothing.
Nothing? My gift was actually supposed to be here last Wednesday night, but you weren't here.
No Amazon. That was my gift to you. That was my early Christmas.
Not being here.
No, that was my gift to both of you, was that I wasn't here. But
you allow me to have the longest streak now.
I must read Martin's super chat. I think I acknowledged it. I didn't specifically read it, and he has asked
Mark, we said make shirts. We said make the logo. I literally gave
so you blew it up. Okay. I didn't know what he said. I don't have my contacts in. I don't know what he said here. Okay. I just had to blow it up on the screen here.
I literally spent 2 minutes saying make the shirt idea. You make the shirt idea. I will buy 10 right now. Just letting you know.
I'll wear
it. Love it. Okay, so we got transfers coming in.
I do have one quick shout out. Shout out to the Boca Raton Bowl last night. I had to go cover the Boca Raton Bowl.
Yep.
UCF and BYU. Shout out to BYU for kicking the holy hell out of me.
Yeah. I thought that was going to be a good game.
Also, shout out to the Boca Raton Bowl because the press food was a unlimited Chick-fil-A bar. Now, me as a raging liberal, I felt like morally wrong eating the Chick-fil-A, but also as a cheap bastard, I felt okay because I didn't pay for it. It was the media area. May have taken one home with me for lunch today. You never know. One may have gotten snuck into the FSU backpack.
I'm a big Chick-fil-A fan for both the food and the business. Absolutely. Big supporter of Chick-fil-A.
I'm like more of a Popeyes guy. We've been over this. Popeyes chicken sandwiches are better. I've
never had it yet. I need to go try it.
Chick-fil-A?
No, Popeyes.
Oh,
Popeyes chicken sandwich. Or like they try to do the chicken sandwich thing during this whole quarantine.
Wait. You've had Popeyes before, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But it's not the sandwich that all the hype was around.
Thank God.
No, I'm not that uncultured. Jeez.
Well, I mean, I'm just checking to make sure.
Look at this. Everybody just drinks Bud Light and friggin' Michelob Ultra.
Yeah,
put some hair on your chest to get you a good beer.
Childs is different because Childs High School has the eclectic Culinary area, but it's
what you start drinking.
So I don't know. So I just want to make sure.
It's
a little both.
Yeah, we have a mixture.
Can we talk yet about why Ohio State doesn't deserve to be in the playoffs? Mostly if you want to fire up Mark.
Sure. Go to it. Are we done with Florida State? We got transfers coming in and out. Like a backup punter.
The punter's got Tommy Martin. Tommy Martin, breaking news. Tommy Martin, backup punter, is transferring. I'll be honest with you. I think me and a lot of Florida State followers and keep up, I just learned that he had a scholarship.
Are we really going to talk about Tommy Martin transferring, guys? Seriously?
This is the time. We have no bowl game to talk about. Jason gave COVID to the football team while he was here this last weekend, and
I did.
No.
Did anyone else find it ironic that we didn't play the game because of issues with our offensive line? I mean, we've had issues with our offensive line since 2016. I don't feel like that's a valid excuse.
You would think we'd have some backups.
You know what I heard about the Alabama football team was that their center, that you guys should be familiar with, he was injured in the SEC championship game, and this guy is like, I had kind of lost track of him, but as soon as they said his name, I thought, and they talked about him as being one of the best centers in the country.
Yeah, he left Willie Taggart's team after they were dancing during practices. But that's another conversation for another day. But there's a video of him looking at the players dancing the spring practice and looked at him. And I think like 2 weeks later, he hit the transfer portal. And, well, Alabama.
Started Alabama.
Yeah, and will most likely get a ring. Most likely will. But that was wasn't too much of a fan of the DJ booth out in the IPF.
Yeah.
Well, Slim Shady electric slide.
Yeah. Well, he's a redneck, like some people. You know, God bless him. He's going to be a redneck with a ring. Congratulations.
I don't know what that had to do with and being one of the top. Maybe Florida State needs more of them.
You tried to suck up to Mark by going with your anti-Willie Taggart talk, so that's what you do. So I'm just going to kind of flip it on you. Then. So flip mode. Oh, sorry, that's too much rap music for you guys. I apologize.
Too much rap music.
Flip mode squad.
I need more. I personally need more.
Fine. When Mark's not here, Mark's not sure. We will talk about FSU basketball. We'll talk about our favorite rap group of all time. Mine's Tribe Called Quest. I don't know what yours is. We can debate.
What am I?
Ghost.
We can
have people hit the like button and get some views in here and make sure that it's being monetized. We're good.
Wait, you always try to tell us that we need to get a sponsor. Why don't you do that, Mark? This is your show. Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Mark Rogers, go get us a sponsor.
Not a sales guy. Doing my best. We do what we can.
I have a job. Logan has a job. James has 12 jobs. You can go get us a sponsor.
Jason is riling it up right before the Christmas time. 2 days.
Me about a sponsor.
No, I'm saying you want us to go get you the sponsors.
Did I ever say that? I don't think I ever said, go get me a sponsor. I said, if you got some kind of connection or whatever, you can get a sponsor. That'd be great. It's not like I'm scolding you guys to get a sponsor every week.
We don't have connections. Logan has no connections. He's a poor college student. I lost my connections in the divorce. We have no connection. Okay?
The eve of Christmas.
I'm usually talking to the fine folks out there about getting us a sponsor, our viewers.
The ones that probably have more networking capabilities.
All right, so here we go. So here's what we're going to do here, guys. It's Seminole Santa time. Seminole Santa is here. He's a Jewish guy with red hair, but I'm here. I'm Seminole Santa. Go ahead, Logan. Don't even think about sitting on my lap, but tell me, you would tell Seminole Santa what you want for the FSU team. What are your hopes and dreams and your gifts for the FSU team?
The gifts I would love to have is probably get some more offensive linemen, keep growing it. Obviously, we forgot to talk about Devontae Love Taylor announcing that he's coming back next season. By far, this year was Florida State's best offensive lineman, so take that any day of the week. So I think Florida State fans already got their gift, and I got the gift of talented offensive lineman coming back, which is big. But build some protection around Mackenzie Milton because, as you know, you've been high on it. His health is what concerns you, and you also said he'd be bad in the locker room. Yes, you did.
No, but who would be bad in the locker room?
Mackenzie Milton. I thought it would stir it up. You thought it would stir up bad mojo in there.
No, I said that he had the best arm in the quarterback room. I said he doesn't have two working legs, which, by the way, was confirmed to me by several UCF people, both members of the coaching staff and members of the media, who confirmed that the reason he didn't play this season was because there was concerns about his mobility. That's all I've said. I hope that Mackenzie Milton, if he's the starter against Notre Dame, and I'll say this again because you were probably drunk when we did that last Sunday. It was NFL football. The Steelers were losing the first of several games.
I'm pulling it up. You said it'd be bad in the locker room.
No, I said that he doesn't have the mobility. Do I hope that if he is the starter against Notre Dame, do I hope that he has the mobility to do well? Absolutely. Once again, we've got idiot viewers here who think, oh, you hate Florida State. No, I want Florida State to succeed. I want Florida State to be successful. I have a degree from the school, for God's sakes. Of course I'm going to root for Florida State to be successful. You're an idiot if you think that I wouldn't want Florida State to be successful. But he has mobility issues. That's a fact. There's a reason that he has not played a game in 2 years. Do I want him to be successful? Absolutely. Will I root as hard for him as possible if he's the starter against Notre Dame on the Sunday before Labor Day? Absolutely. Do I have reservations about him being our potential starting quarterback? Yes. And if you don't have reservations either, seeing the fact of A, that god-awful injury that he suffered against USF, and B, the fact it'll be nearly 3 calendar years between the time he last played a football game and that Notre Dame game. It'll be almost 3 full calendar years. If you don't even have any reservations, then you're just being a delusional Florida State fan.
So Fruity Baboon is making the comment here that I was about to make, that I've made many times, but I thought that I would give the Willie Taggart, Mike Norvell discussion a rest, but pointing out there that Willie had more talent on the roster.
Absolutely.
That he inherited. So anyway.
Well, so I guess Fruity Baboon is part of the let's make as many excuses for the white coach as possible. That's where we're going with this. Got it. Cool.
Why does it have to be anything about black or white? It doesn't have to be that.
Because
we have no idea. I'm not saying it isn't for some people. I'm saying, why do we need to make it?
I'm not saying
I am just stating a fact that Willie Taggart had more talent on the roster that he inherited from the previous coach than is inherited by Mike Norvell, and that's borne out by the recruiting rankings.
I didn't say you were making the excuse. I said Fruity Baboon is making the excuse.
Well, I don't know.
He's part of the FSU. He's part of the stupid FSU fans who are going to make every excuse possible for Mike Norvell, but wanted to throw Willie Taggart under the bus. And the fact is, if you're going to sit here, and once again, I'll say it again, if you're going to say Willie Taggart deserved to be fired for going 9-12, then and once again, I pray to God that we do not go 6-6 or worse next season. I will be rooting hard for FSU to win every single game. I will pray to God that we win 8 games, 9 games, and win as many games as possible next season. All I have said was, if you're going to fire one coach for going 9-12, you have to fire every coach who is 9-12. Otherwise, you are a hypocrite. That's all I've said.
And the only thing that I'm saying in response to your reaction to Fruity Baboon's comment is that
Fruity Baboon.
Hang on.
Fruity Baboon.
Hang on. Is that I know that the statement that you're making about the people out there as Florida State fans that unfortunately made a judgment on Willie Taggart and didn't want him based on his race, those people exist. That's horrible. Unfortunately, we live in this world, and that I don't know if that's 10%, 40%, 80%. I don't know, but I know that they exist, and that's horrible. I'm just saying that you can't say that everybody that says Willie Taggart did a horrible job is in that category.
Yeah, once again, Mark, don't twist my words. I know you like to.
I'm not trying to twist your words.
I did not say every single person who was against Willie Taggart. I've said, God damn, I just keep repeating myself here. Willie Taggart got fired because we were 9-12. Willie Taggart got fired because we were 0-5 against Clemson, Florida, and Miami. I've been saying this for the last year now. So here, I'll say it again for the 5,000th time. We all know why Willie Taggart got fired. Did Willie Taggart deserve to get fired after 21 games? No. Do I understand why Willie Taggart got fired? Yes. All I have said was, if you're going to fire one coach for being 9-12, if Mike Norvell is 9-12 after 21 games, if that happens, then you cannot keep him and say, oh, well, we're on the right track. If you fired a different coach for having the same exact record or a better record and say that he wasn't living up to FSU standards. If Mike Norvell is 9-12 or worse after 21 games, he's not living up to FSU standards. If that's the excuse we use to fire Willie, that's the excuse we have to use for Mike.
I never stated that I had an issue with you pointing that out. I don't have an issue with that. If I'm running the show, I'm not just saying 9-12 versus 8-13 means 9-12 is better than 8-13. We know that statistically it is, but you got to weigh the culture, the environment. What else is going on here? For me personally, but there's no question.
For the record, real quick. I'm sorry, Logan. Mommy and Daddy still love you. Mommy and Daddy are just having a little bit right now. Mommy and Daddy still love you. Mommy, Mark, Daddy, Jason, we still love you. We're fine.
Thank you. That's very nice.
Mommy category. See, when he does that, he can do that.
You're a little bit smaller than me. I just figured proportionally you're a little bit smaller. So that's fine.
Down here.
I'm going to leave that go.
We're heading into the wrong direction. I was just going back to our.
Where's your mind going, Logan? Jesus.
I was just going back to our Mackenzie Milton transfers of Florida State live show. And
we were asked about I wanted to be able to chime in on my gifts that I was going to give to the Florida State football team.
Well,
yeah.
Logan still hasn't given any gifts because he's part of that delusional FSU base who thinks everything's okay and there's any needs. Logan, tell us your three.
I did. I thought.
The offensive line, you think the offensive line was better? Okay.
I wanted better offensive linemen. I want Mackenzie Milton to be healthy, fully ready to rock. And number 3, I want to beat a rival.
Just one. You don't care which one.
I'd like to beat 2, but if I have to beat one, it'd probably be how about just beat both rivals?
Well, obviously we want to beat both rivals, but if you could only beat one next season, which one do you want? I want to beat Miami just for the way they killed us this year.
I think all right, I'll pick Florida then. Beat Florida at the end of the year.
Okay, there you go. Now, Mark, you are an Ohio State fan, but we will welcome you into the Florida.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Welcome into the fan base here.
Thank you.
What are your 3 wishes to the Seminole Santa?
So I'm going to add on to Logan's 3 wishes for presents. So I don't want to repeat those. So certainly Mackenzie Milton having great health this season and being able to play the whole season would be phenomenal, because that was, in my mind, an early Christmas present for the Florida State football team to get Mackenzie Milton.
In the locker room.
Phenomenal. Okay. Let's give
3 calendar years, people.
Let's give Mackenzie Milton a threat on the outside, whether that comes from the transfer portal. Let's give him a legit, like when you think Florida State football, you think stud athletes, game changers on the outside. Tamari and Terry would be the closest thing that we've seen to that in the last 4 or 5 years. Since who, you guys?
Probably what? Green.
Who's the guy that had the big Orange Bowl game?
Naquan Murray.
Yes.
Or Murray. Yeah, which was crazy. He wasn't really supposed to be a number one kind of threat, but came in and did his thing.
So that's my first wish.
Okay.
All right.
Get us a burner, speed guy on the outside, because that's what I think of when I think Florida State football. And I'm going to go to 2 other areas, because when I think Florida State football, I think just a terror from the DN position that can get after the quarterback. Just, an elite pass rusher off the edge. And then more than anything, when I think Florida State football, I think shutdown corner.
Yep. Who's it going to be? Who could it be?
Good question.
You're going to need it. You lose Ahsante Samuel Jr. Who's going to step up? Actually, who's going to be stepping up to start on both sides? Because right now, Dotson was hurt. Jerrion Jones doesn't seem like he needs to be a lockdown corner. He doesn't need to be there right now. Could it be Brownlee? Could it be Dotson? Who goes where?
Just for the record, Logan, FAU's got the ball first.
They got the ball first.
Jason wants pure chaos to continue at his alma mater just to prove it's right. Yep, you're right. That's exactly why. I don't want Florida State to go 12-0 at all. I don't want Florida State to do anything right. Exactly. You caught me. You caught on to my plan.
Well, what was our preseason record prediction?
That's why.
What were those?
That's why I picked us to have more wins this season than Logan. But I want pure chaos. Right. Got it. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Got it.
I was 6-5.
Good job. Good effort, fans. Logan picked us to go 7-5. I picked us to go 8-4, but I want pure chaos. Got it. Good job. We got some idiot fans in our fan base. I'm sorry, it has to be said. We got some really stupid fans. You think I want chaos? Good job.
I think they're just seeing the Norvell and the Willie Taggart argument, and they're coming after you, Jason.
Well, why would they come after me if the fact that Willie never finished 3-6, but we're going to defend the coach who went 3-6? Huh? I wonder why that is.
Do you think now with all these players leaving and what we've heard during this season and even this last off season, do you think Willie Taggart came into a rougher situation or Mike Norvell?
I think Mike Norvell came into a tougher situation because of the fact that he was essentially having to rebuild everything both on the field and off the field. Willie Taggart came into the situation where Florida State was like the hurt boyfriend. Logan, let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a girl break up with you and you were just so heartbroken?
Yeah. Never broken. They've never broken up with me, but broken up the other way.
You're such a all right.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie here and be like, yeah, it's always been the other way around.
As somebody,
but they've done something stupid, so yeah, it was terrible to have. But thank you for reminding me. I might start crying.
All right, well, go ahead. Let the tears flow. Jason, yes, thank you. Oh my God, a Canes person. I actually have to thank you.
Although Norvell and any coach should get it passed.
Right, and once again, I've said that. Yes, this year is the year from hell. This year didn't happen.
Followed up by this comment.
Well, your name is Panama Jack, so really we should take your opinion with a grain of salt.
Followed up by that comment.
Well, first off, you're going to insult him and spell his name correctly.
Taggart.
Christ, we got some dumb fans. Good God here. Anyway, moving on.
Alfred the Savage, too.
Alfred the Savage, who can't even spell names correctly. Good job, Alfred. Good job. Good effort, buddy. I think Willie Taggart was brought in because we were in that hurt situation. We were in the situation of we were so hurt by the way Jimbo left. We thought Jimbo was going to be the next Bobby Bowden. We were so, oh my God, I can't believe he left us. And we went to that first person who's like, I want to be here. I want to be. And because he talked about that in his presser, Florida State was his dream job. Florida State was his dream job. Mike Norvell.
Stop. No, you know what I was also going to say? Go ahead, because I'm listening.
No, because
you're listening.
Go ahead.
I wasn't even looking at that.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Say what you ever want to say. Because Mark's going to come in and go, well, actually, Jason, a study that is really like that is Oregon, USF, and everywhere else. And you're going to come in and say, oh, well, I don't, I just think everything.
What is that?
Roll Travis.
What was mine? At least I kind of get yours a little bit.
You got a little dirty voice. You got a little country voice. So I tried to do that. I'm bad with accents. I'm sorry. I'm horrible. Horrible. Add it to the list of things I do wrong to you guys. Good God. I got to find something better to do on a Wednesday night. Yeah.
Even FSU YouTubers incompetent.
Yeah, there it is.
By the way, in case you haven't noticed, Mark has the ability to pick and choose whichever ones he puts on there. So he goes whichever.
Don't even go there.
Chronologically.
I bypass most of them that slam you. So don't even
go ahead.
I could be much worse.
They don't like me because I'm a liberal. They don't like me because they don't like me because I speak anything ill about Florida State. They don't like me because I have the voice of a 14-year-old girl going through puberty. I get it. Trust me. I understand it completely. You think I care what these people think?
I didn't say that. I just said that I.
But I guarantee you next season for that Notre Dame game, I'm going to be one of the few people here who will actually be there cheering and rooting for Florida State. While these idiots are sitting at home, some of them sitting in their parents' basement, sitting there talking about, oh, Florida State, I love Florida State. but they're not going to support Florida State. They're not going to go to the games. They're not going to cheer. They're not going to support. He hates Florida State. He wants Florida State to be in chaos. Will actually still be there cheering on Florida State. So, to all the people, kiss my white you-know-what.
The TW Joe there.
But also make sure to support MarkRogersTV, the voice of college football.
Thank you.
Sponsor. If anyone wants to sponsor our show, please go ahead.
Yes.
You can always hit me up at MarkRogersTV@gmail. Just don't send me an email like I get from time to time that says, Mark, have you ever reached out to Dick's Sporting Goods? I don't need suggestions like that. I got that covered. I understand who's got money out there. If you've got a real contact with somebody, I would appreciate you letting us know. MarkRogersTV@gmail. And I think TW Joe there is basically just written the banner that probably should just stay up there for like hours.
That'd be Jason's favorite because it has a Miami logo too with it.
Oh yeah, huge Miami fan here. Yes, right. You caught me. Huge Miami fan. Sat inside that stadium, wearing a Florida State shirt, khaki shorts.
And nobody jumped you like
watch every single play of that game, but watch every single play of us losing 52-10 to our rival. But you guys are going to sit here and tell me that I'm not a true fan. Got it. Good job. Good effort.
And that was probably my favorite episode of the season. Which one was your favorite? I think that episode was my favorite because the comment section was having threats towards you. They said they're going to wait outside the stadium for you.
My favorite was the Miami fans who sat there and went, "Oh, we were looking for you, but security kept us from going to the press box." Well, I was in the stands the whole game, dumbass. That's number one. Number two, the one who called me a fat F, even though I weigh less than you, Logan. But okay, so if I'm fat, then you're voted, Logan. Jesus.
I know that is true. That is true.
God, man.
People need to get their facts straight, but that's no shocker in Miami.
I mean,
that was a phenomenal episode this year. That was a phenomenal episode.
I need to go back to the episode where Willie Taggart got fired and watch that one and see. We probably have some gems there.
Oh my God! We should just have a watch party. Can we put our webcams up to the right? We watch it right here and see a little bit of it. Did we do an instant reaction for that?
Am I going to have to root for Clemson? God, I hate that. He's so white trash.
I would think so. I'll have to look that up.
Am I going to have to root for Clemson in the playoffs? I don't want to. Oh,
you don't have to.
I don't want to. I mean, let me just hope that Alabama or Notre Dame just kicks the hell out of either one of them in the national championship game, which is probably going to happen. Probably Alabama's just going to run roughshod over them. So.
I don't even think we had a show then. We didn't have a show. I'm looking at that then. We don't think we had
we didn't have a show. That was
probably.
We've been doing this for a year and a half.
I was sitting shit at that point, probably.
You were.
I was crying.
Running out of Kleenexes. Yeah.
Oh, he got. Yeah, he got fired in.
Yeah, I guess I see that you did a show.
November of.
It was November 3rd, 2019.
Yeah, so it was. We were good.
Show. November 5th would have been the next show.
Yeah, we were good 15, 20 episodes.
We did them on Tuesdays at that point because Logan, Mr. Our schedule maker, hadn't had us adjust our schedules at that point.
For one time. Now softball's over. We go back to.
Oh, we can go. Logan can tell us we can go back to Tuesdays.
Well, if you need to, something must be going on Wednesday nights.
Logan, we are here for you. All right.
Salad night. I know our Wednesdays at 6.
We are here for you, Logan. Mark Rogers, the voice of college football. Jason Parker, the fat F. I mean, we are here for you. We are here for you, buddy. You tell us what works best for you, Logan Robinson.
I said the option's open for you now. If you really need to go back to Tuesday nights,
I'm here for you.
I didn't know if that was Willie night. Go back and watch highlights.
I mean,
Oregon, 4 minutes of highlights that he had at Oregon, or
Tuesday nights are tacos with Taggart. No, tacos with Taggart on Tuesdays.
There it is. Tacos with Taggart. So you make tacos and you watch Willie Taggart highlights.
And then we can have no wins with Norvell. There we go. So it works out.
Yeah, I got to find that show.
Stick around for the overtime part here, where Logan tells you why Mike Norvell is the greatest coach in Florida State history.
I never said that. Never once did I say that. But he did get me a number 5 win this season. Still trying to figure out Willie Taggart's rank to win. Was that Boston College, number 23 in the country? A terrible Boston College team.
Please continue.
When did he recruit a quarterback? Not at all.
Brag about beating North Carolina in the pandemic. Please continue.
Had to get a quarterback in 2 weeks. Got a quarterback in 2 weeks.
Here we go. Logan, for the next minute, please. This will be my Hanukkah present. This will be all 8 nights rolled into one. Is hearing you brag about beating a pandemic-ranked number 5 North Carolina team. Please go ahead. Tell me why.
I don't need to tell you anymore. It happened. But I know later on in like 2 years, you're going to tell me something about Willie Taggart and how he beat a ranked team, and something's going to go along with that. That Boston College might be ranked 25th, and Willie Taggart beat a number 23 Boston College. So why couldn't Mike Norvell?
You caught me. That's what I was going to say next. No, actually, what I was going to ask you was tell me how we went from beating the number 5 ranked team in the country to losing by 32 to Louisville.
It's a great question, and I predicted Florida State to lose that game.
I predicted them to lose to Louisville as well, but I did not predict us to lose by 32 points.
In the preseason, I predicted Florida State would beat North Carolina, but then they'd fall apart for no reason. Just have too much hype in that locker room. That locker room can't handle it. Culture can't handle it, and sure enough, it showed. And
I literally
they have this whole team and
said the same thing, Logan. I literally predicted the same exact thing. But go ahead, fans. Tell me how Logan knows more than me. Go ahead. We predicted
that.
What, fans?
You're talking to imaginary people, I think.
I think we pretty much hit the end of the line here. We had nothing to talk about tonight, but
turned into something though.
Happy holidays to the FSU fans, to the Miami fans, to the Florida fans, the Ohio State fans, the FAU fans, the UCF fans, every fan base that's in here.
Check the score of that game.
From Logan, it's 0-0 right now. Memphis has got the ball in the third.
I thought it was score fast, score often. Let me see.
No, that was yesterday when BYU shellacked UCF. But seriously, fans, from Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, from Drunk Logan in the middle, from James Coleman, wherever the hell James is, somewhere in Jacksonville right now. James, we miss you, buddy. But from all of us, sincerely, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, all the holidays. We wish you the happy holidays. We wish you the best.
Absolutely. Jason and I agree on that.
That's one thing. One thing.
And let's see that this is only the first day of off season, literally the first show of off season. It just only gets better and better and better on the show.
Logan, let's be honest. This whole season was off. So
it practically does feel like we had like 2 baby seasons because of the long month away from football. So that's why it doesn't count as a season for Mike Norvell.
Baby seasons.
All right, everyone. Next Wednesday night. We leave next Wednesday night unless next softball schedule change.
No, next Wednesday, Logan will come up with his excuses for 2021 for Mike Norvell. You're going to want to hear them, so stick around next Wednesday.
And the next week is your excuses for Willie Taggart.
Oh, absolutely.
We could do New Year's resolutions next week.
In fact, I've got the list right here. I got the list right here of my excuses. In the FSU notebook. It's right here.
Shout out to Michael Hogg. Someone. Oh, I was just going to say real quick, Mark.
What's Michael got here?
Justin. It's just me, Tim 79. This is good for you, Jason, because you have a good comeback on this one. Said James is with your wife. Talking about James.
I don't think she ever dated a black guy though.
No.
White guy.
And
yeah.
You're single.
Wait, James, isn't James also married too? So you're saying that James is cheating on his wife with my wife. Good job. Good job.
And you're single, so it's not even funny.
It's a classy crowd we've got going.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Very good.
That doesn't really affect.
Happy holidays, everyone. We will see you next Wednesday.
Yes, thank you guys.
Bring your New Year's resolutions.
Please do. We need them.